You are listening to Smart Women's Dating Podcast, episode number 74. Welcome to Smart Women's Dating Podcast. I am your host, certified life coach Lærke Nielsen, and I help smart, independent women attract the love they deeply desire without having to chase or settle. This podcast will give you the mindset tools and insights you need to finally crack the code to your love life. Are you ready? Then let's go! Hey you! Welcome back to the podcast. What is the one thing that healthy, long-lasting couples seem to have figured out? It could be the secret garden. But what is that? And how does it work in a relationship? And why is it even important in dating? This is what I will talk about today, so you are in for a treat. When I was preparing this episode, I realized that this topic is actually very close to the one about not losing yourself, except that this is the positive version of it. So I asked myself if I even wanted to do this episode, but then I decided that yes, I do want to share this with you, even if it's just a short episode, because I like this concept and I found it to be so valuable again and again. So I decided to go ahead and record this for you. Now, the secret garden, what is that? So we all know that for most couples, the nature of their connection changes over time. In the beginning, when everything is new, there's a lot of passion and chemistry. You are in love. You're still discovering the other person, and he is still crazy about you. And then this gradually turns into a more calm and quiet form of love and belonging. Daily life enters. It's no longer sparks and chemistry as it was in the beginning. And there is nothing new about the other person. Everything is very familiar and predictable. And in a way, that's also nice. Because now you have a more deep connection and you feel safe and loved. And for many couples, the passion also fades with the years. You feel less attracted to your partner after some years, and maybe you are even a little bit bored. But you still love him, although it's not a hot and wild passion anymore. It's more cozy and comfy. Now, this is almost what we expect to happen, right? And for some couples, it doesn't have to be a problem. Some are actually okay with that, at least for a while, because other things take priority. There could be children, buying a house, making a family function, running a career, and so on. And we tell ourselves that it's unrealistic to expect feeling the same level of attraction and passion with a partner after 10 to 15 years as we did in the beginning. But other couples suffer. They love their partner, but they miss the novelty and excitement. They miss feeling the desire and feeling that they are desirable to their partner. And some try to solve this by getting even more close. They think that what is missing is more emotional intimacy, feeling more secure and more connected to the other person. But doing more of the same will often not create a new result. There can be more belonging and love and affection, but the attraction and desire, it might still be missing. And so we know how the story goes. This can easily lead to infidelity of different kinds. One-night flings, short affairs, or maybe even a long-term love affair. And then one part of the couple might decide that they no longer want to be in the relationship. They just want out, or they want out and then start a new relationship with someone else. And then the whole thing starts all over again. We might tell ourselves that in long-term monogamy, it's just like that. It's the way things go. And if you want to spice up your intimate life, you do role plays, you buy some toys, or you introduce a third person in the bedroom. Now, this could be the solution for some, but it's definitely not for everyone. And what's important to understand is the nature of humans in long-term relationships. We have two fundamental needs that could seem to be contradictory to each other, but they are not necessarily. We do require closeness and intimacy. We do want to feel safe, loved, and that we belong. We do want the trust and some level of predictability in a romantic partnership. But we also crave novelty, mystery, adventure, and desire. And when a couple loses this last part, it's because they've become too grown into each other. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can approach it in an intelligent way. The Belgian American psychotherapist Esther Perel is famous for her work on this topic, and she says, "Love enjoys knowing everything about you. Desire needs mystery. Love likes to shrink the distance that exists between me and you, while desire is energized by it. If intimacy grows through repetition and familiarity, eroticism is numbed by repetition. It thrives on the mysterious, the novel, and the unexpected. Love is about having, desire is about wanting." So this was a long quote, but I thought it really says it all, and the concept of a secret garden is something that Esther Perel has introduced and she speaks about in the context of long-term monogamous relationships. And I like the name of this concept because it's very much about going somewhere outside the relationship on your own, without your partner, and cultivating something new, growing beautiful flowers or plants. And as I said in the beginning, the secret garden is said to be the one thing that healthy long-term couples have in common and that helps them keep the desire and attraction alive. So, having or cultivating a secret garden is about having a space that you don't share with your partner. It's that you have sources of joy and growth outside the relationship. And I talked about this in the episode about not losing yourself as well. That you do things that inspire you, that light you up, but you do it without your partner. And also that you renew yourself, and in that sense, you renew his perception of you. You surprise him. A secret garden could be a passion or a life purpose that you feel excited about and that makes you forget everything else around you. Something that lights you up and really engages you. It could be volunteering in an organization. It could be a place where you exchange ideas with others. It could be a passion project that you do with friends. It's when you keep cultivating your own individuality, even if you are in a couple. And said in a very simple way, when he then looks at you, he sees a person that is completely self-sustained, who is separate from him, who is radiant, self-confident, has a passion or purpose outside the partnership. And that's when he starts to feel some of the same desire as he did in the beginning. This is when he realizes that there is still something to be discovered about you. And it's the other way around as well. When dating, you are still in the process of discovering each other, and there is still a lot of mystery, you could say, and for natural reasons. You are still an individual, you are still separate from him, and with a lot to uncover. But I think it's still useful to know about this dynamic, and especially if you're someone who tends to be very early attached and wanting to get as close as possible, as early as possible, it can help you to know that maintaining a separate life and your own individuality, creating a little bit of distance in between you, where you go and do your own stuff, that this isn't actually that bad for the attraction between you. You keep the mystery and novelty for a longer time by not getting overly close early on. And you can also pace the dating process by practicing slow dating. And this is just one more reason to do that. I talked about it also in other episodes. Slow dating will give you a chance to continue doing your favorite things in life, as well as getting to know him in a healthy pace. And when you're in the midterm dating, like 2 or 3 months into a dating connection, you can avoid becoming completely immersed. You can keep doing the things you did as a single woman, Keep having your own life next to the life you now share with him. Going out with girlfriends, doing sports and hobbies, taking classes or courses, planning a weekend away with friends, and so on. And ideally, you should both do this. You should both have a secret garden, but of course, we can only control what you do. We can't tell him what to do. But you want to think of this as if you each have your secret garden that you cultivate. And then when you come home with new inspiration, a glow in the eyes, and lots of fresh energy. All the things that you felt attracted to in the early beginning of the relationship. This is what you want to keep alive. So I hope this was useful and that you feel inspired to go to your secret garden, whether you are dating or in a relationship. And if you want to learn more about this, I recommend that you read the book Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. Regardless of whether you are dating or in a relationship, I can help you in both cases. And if you are not sure what your secret garden is, then I can help you find and cultivate one. So book a call on the link in the show notes and let's talk. Thank you for listening today, and until next time, take care and enjoy dating. If you like what you're hearing on this podcast and you want to get support from a coach on your love journey, I invite you to book a free consult call with me. You will find the link in the show notes. And also, don't forget to subscribe, and I would love it if you would rate and review this podcast, and then you'll also help other women find it.